Stitches, and today I have a Haulternative. There are lots of different types of Haulternative. This one is going to be my most prized possessions. So these are things that I've had for many, many years. The youngest item here is 8 years old. So I've had these things for a long, long time. They mean a lot to me. I would be very disappointed if they were to suddenly go missing and disappear out of my life. Alternatives are basically a sort of, obviously an alternative to haul culture. There's been a lot of work recently in the sustainability community talking about haul culture and social media culture and how it pushes people to engage in fast fashion in alarming rates. We've all seen those "I spent $600 on blank store" hauls before. Alternative culture sort of pushes back against that to show people different ways of appreciating what they have. And it is Fashion Revolution Week. This is video 2 of my Fashion Revolution Week series. This week, all of my videos have been focused on sustainability in the kawaii culture, and this video is going to be quite personal. There's not a lot of fashion, a little bit, but not a lot. It's more about like the things that have shaped me into who I am today. This intro is long enough. Let's hop into the items. My first item is definitely my silliest, but I have some Sailor Moon fan art from when I was like, I must have been like 5, 6, maybe 4 when I made this. When I was a kid, my favorite cartoon of all time was Sailor Moon. I just loved it so much. It was so special to me, and just something about it was so charming. And obviously I was really into the like Sailor Moon Tuxedo Mask Chibi Moon dynamic. I don't know why my only Sailor Scout fan art is Mars. Sailor Mars was like one of my least favorite side scouts. I think like my favorites were Mercury because she was really, really smart, and Jupiter because she was green. I wasn't really into Venus or Mars, so I'm kind of confused as to why I drew Mars and not Jupiter or Mercury. Also, can we appreciate that I did these stars with a blue glitter crayon? I don't even know if that shows up, but I think that's very indicative of who I am as a person. My next piece is sort of along the same vein of like art and that sort of thing, but this was actually given to me by a very good friend of mine from 4th grade. I spent 3rd and 4th grade in one school, and then I transferred to another school in 5th grade. So one of my friends made me this little zine about our friendship together, and I thought it was the sweetest thing ever. I cried a little bit when she gave it to me. Yeah, she just like wrote this little zine about how much she was gonna miss me and all the stuff we've done as friends. Oh my gosh, she drew us. That's me from when I was a little blonde kid and wearing all black. And that's her, and she was brunette. Yeah. This thing is super adorable. Yeah, this is definitely something that I have kept near and dear to my heart for years and years and years. I will never get rid of this ever. This is probably also the first zine that you could say I ever owned, so that's cool. It touches my heart whenever I look at this. And next up we have a real book. This is not a book that you can purchase, unfortunately. This was made specifically for a class that I took in community college called Women in Literature. It doesn't even have like anything on the side of it. So this is an anthology collection of different works of literature throughout history from different women. There's stuff from like the Greek era, like there's stuff from the 1500s, there's stuff from the 1800s, there's stuff from the 50s, like there's really just a very good selection of different women's literature work. And you can see just how much I marked in this. I mean, obviously, when you're in community college, if you've ever gone to community college, you know that a lot of the professors there will actually, like, grade you on how much you write in the books. It's really weird. Like, you grow up being told, don't write in books, it's destructive, don't do it, you have to respect the sanctity of books. And then when you get in college, it's like, if you're not writing in the margins, you're probably doing a bad job reading. So, yeah, they taught us to mark up a page, I will tell you that. But yeah, this particular class that I took was very important in shaping my view of feminism, and it was just like the beginning of a whole new Catherine being birthed into the world. The fact that I had this education from, like, an actual person in the field who had a solid background in education in it themselves really helped to shape my opinion of feminism and how it has affected literature and art throughout the years. Also, our teacher was just, like, really aggressively nice and friendly, and she was just a very kind person, and I think that that also really left a mark on me. At the end of the class, she gave us these rulers. Like, on the last day for finals, she handed these out as, like, a thank you, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's so kind of you." And she's like, "Okay, guys, it's $2 ruler. You can chill." But, like, because we were getting all emotional about these rulers, and the cool thing about these is that they have on the back side of great women rulers of literature, and it's just like a bunch of female authors. It's just a really cute pun, and you can tell by this side, the markings, that I actually do use this regularly. I got rid of all my other rulers because I was like, this is the only one I'm ever going to need. And inside this book, I have my next item. This is an interesting subject to talk about. So when I was in 2nd grade, 9/11 happened. And I live in Washington State, which is like the other side of the country. I didn't know anybody that was affected, like, personally by 9/11, but our school really wanted to reach out to some of the children affected by 9/11. I don't think my class was the only one that did this, but I know that my class was set up as pen pals to another 2nd grade class in New York. They all were affected. They all knew what was going on, but they wanted us to, like, exchange letters with them as a way to, like, help them take their mind off of the stress. And one of the gifts that their class gave us was that all of the students made us personalized bookmarks. But this is the one she made me. She made this before we exchanged letters for the first time. This was like, we received these with our first letter. And I guess at the time, they set up girls with girls and boys with boys, and my class knew that, but I don't think their class did. And she wrote in her letter that she didn't know if I was a boy or a girl, so she wanted to put things on the bookmark that would appeal to both boys and girls. And so she put, like, little rainbows and flowers, but then also there's, like, a little truck and a football, and then up here there's, like, a little, I think it's a basket of apples, because Washington apples. And, like, there are these little hearts coming off of the basket, and it's just so cute. And I think, like, this was the first time anybody ever approached me from a gender-neutral standpoint. And I was, like, really confused at the time, like, of course I'm a girl. Like, why would you think I'm a boy? But, like, now that I'm older and now that society has progressed a little bit, like, I've really come to appreciate gender neutrality and, like, approaching somebody you've never met as a gender neutral person before, like, they tell you, hey, I'm a woman. I mean, it's still a lot of gender stereotypes, because let's face it, we were, like, sweet. So we didn't know any better. Like, if you grew up in the 90s, it was a very blue and pink world, let me tell you. So I just think that it's really sweet that she took the time to make sure that I would like it regardless. And my last item I'm just going to touch on briefly because I'm gonna do a whole video about as the teaser. I have one of the sweaters from my collection of sweaters that my grandmother has made me. So I've had a lot of these for a long time. I don't have every single one that she's ever made me because some of them don't really fit my aesthetic anymore. So I've actually gifted a lot of them to another girl that lives in my grandparents' neighborhood. She's really appreciated them because, like, these are really warm and soft and nice. Like, this is a higher quality than anything I could ever buy at a store. And it's just so cute and nice and wholesome. But yeah, that is everything for today's Haulternative. I hope that this has been, at the very least, entertaining to you. Again, the point of a Haulternative is just to sort of challenge haul culture and the constant consumption of new things, and maybe taking the time to appreciate what you already have, and maybe thinking about some of the emotional ties that you have, maybe thinking about why you own the things that you do. So that's it for today. I will see you all in Saturday's video, where I will talk in more detail about my sweater collection. And I hope everybody has a good day. I hope everybody thinks about their stuff a little bit, and I will see you all next time.